What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into the episode of My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, Sleaze. Today, we are diving into the running back, start 'em, sit 'em, every single matchup for this Thanksgiving weekend. And I'm going to try and crank out all the content to you before Thanksgiving. And happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, guys. Thank you guys for all the support this year. Has been absolutely amazing. Stay safe, eat some good food. I can't wait to grub, man. Before we dive into it here, make sure you tap that thumbs up, hit that subscription, turn that bell on. It helps me out a ton, guys. If you have any questions as well, drop them down below. I try to answer every single one of them. Doesn't have to pertain to this video. That is one of my goals, to help you guys all year long. If you guys haven't checked out drafters.com, the sponsor, or the Guys FF Premium Discord, both those links are pinned at the top in the comments, and they're in the description of the video as well if you want to talk football with us off stream 24/7. And in this video, we are going to look at points against, receptions allowed for the running back PPR side, and how it's gone over the past 4 weeks instead of season long, because a lot of stuff changes in between the beginning of the season and now, with injuries, schemes, coaches fired, everything. And we're coming down to the stretch here. It is time to lock in. Let's look at the running backs you should be starting or sitting here in week 13. So if you guys are new to the channel, this is my start 'em, sit 'em running back board. Away team at the top versus the home team at the bottom. Green, obviously must start. Yellow again. So if you guys are new in here, I'll use the first example here. I like to do this every time for you guys. So if I say low end super flex play, it'll be a low end play like that. Solid flex play in the middle, high end flex play I put right there. Next year, or with how much is going on next year, I'll probably change my graphics before the season started so they look better. But that's how it'll go. So we're going to start off with the Thanksgiving blessing of 3 games tomorrow that are all the best. The NFL script writers, man, they just know what they're doing, man. Packers, Lions, Chiefs, Cowboys, Bengals, Ravens, just Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Mahomes, Dak, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. Doesn't get any better than that. But we're going to start off with the first game here, the big NFC implication game here. 7-3-1 Packers versus 7-4 Lions. Lot on the line home field wise with the NFC battle that's going on here. 48.5 over under. Detroit is favored by 2.5 in this game. And Josh Jacobs looks like he is going to be back playing. He practiced limited on Monday. He almost played last week. So that's a good sign there for all you Josh Jacobs owners. And Emmanuel Wilson fielding great. But Marshawn Lloyd is also on his way back here too, supposedly. So pay attention to that. I don't think he'll take the job from Emmanuel Wilson. I should make a picture for Emmanuel Wilson either way, but I don't have one right now. And when it comes to Jahmyr Gibbs, are you ever sitting this guy? No, you're not. But we are going to look at both these defenses statistically against the running back over the past 4 weeks. Again, we're not going to use the entire season because a lot changes between now and then. So when you're looking at the Green Bay Packers versus the run, so this is for the Jahmyr Gibbs side, but it doesn't matter to me with Jahmyr Gibbs. They rank 23rd, giving up 24.4 points over the last 4 weeks. Don't care. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, low end flex play if you want. Very hard to trust for me. Josh Jacobs side, Detroit. They've been great versus the run. They're number 7, giving up 16.3 points. They've given up 1 touchdown over the past 4 games on the ground, but Josh Jacobs has 17 touchdowns in like his last 18 games. So, again, both these running backs, they're too elite to sit. Easy must starts if they're both out there healthy. Oh, yeah. The game that is going to crack Super Bowl records on Thanksgiving with viewership. I'm telling you right now, the Chiefs versus the Cowboys has a chance to be Super Bowl viewership. Remember that when we come into next week, because I want to see that hit. Now, Chiefs 6-5, Cowboys 5-1. Both teams big wins. Chiefs got the Colts, Cowboys got the Eagles. The over-under's 52.5. Tied for the highest implied point total game of the week, which is what you want for fantasy football. KC is favored by 3 points in this game. Let's be honest, guys. Are we really even going to play Isaiah Pacheco coming off the injury? No, not for me. So with him back, yeah, Kareem Hunt had 30 touches last week, which he was a phenomenal flex play. But with Pacheco back, we're now back into this ugly mix. So if I'm going to take any Chiefs running back as a low-end flex play for the touchdown upside because the red zone work goes to Kareem Hunt, that's who I'm going to low-end flex. I'm not even thinking about Isaiah Pacheco. I told you guys not to draft Isaiah Pacheco this year. I stayed away. I have 0 ownership even across 24 freaking dynasties. That just shows you how much I care about Isaiah Pacheco. So Kareem Hunt, if you want to throw him out there, yeah, you can. But the Dallas Cowboys defense, since they've traded for Quinnen Williams, since they traded for Logan, since they got Overshown back off IR, they've been lights out. They're number 3 versus the running back, only allowing 13 points. They've allowed 149 yards in 4 games. That's absolutely phenomenal. Number 1 in the NFL. 0 touchdowns. 0 through the air on the ground. So very, very tough matchup all the way around. Now, Javonte Williams side for the Cowboys. The Chiefs, they also ranked number 9 versus the run, allowing 17.3. We just saw what they did to Jonathan Taylor, and I told you guys that last week, that Jonathan Taylor's going to have a tough outing, man. They're going to make Danny Dimes beat him, and JT didn't do much. And Javonte Williams is in for the same kind of game here. This is going to be a very, very tough game for Javonte Williams. You know, could he fall in the end zone? You know, if they get down to the goal line, for sure. Of course he can. Same with Kareem Hunt. But again, these are both low-end flex plays for me. These are 2 top 10 run Ds, and I think this is going to be a pass-heavy attack where you see just Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson. That's going to be the players I want in this game more than the running backs. Heading on down to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Smoking Joe Burrow is back. They are going to be heading in, trying to save their season at 3-8. And in their division, they're not out yet. That is why Joe Burrow is coming back into this game. They're going to be going to the 6-5 Baltimore Ravens, 52.5 over/under, same as the Chiefs Cowboys. What a slate on Thanksgiving we are going to get. God, I just can't wait for these games, man. Baltimore's favored by 7 in this game. I honestly like the Bengals to win this game. So, I mean, if you're a betting man, take that in right there. And we're going to get, when we're looking at the matchup here, so Chase Brown just also was the highest rusher on the season versus the New England Patriots. They hadn't allowed a 50-yard rusher. He cracked 100. Great showing for him. He is back. He is electric, and I'm starting him every single time for the rest of the season, regardless of the matchup. But you are going to get the Baltimore Ravens run D, which passed over, you know, in the past 4 weeks since they had their 1-5 blunder. And I told you guys, don't count the damn Ravens out, man. They're going to come back, and they're coming back. They've been great versus the run. They ranked number 6, giving up 15.8, only 276 yards and 1 touchdown in 4 games, 155 yards through the air. That is a big number through the air they've allowed. That is where Chase Brown is going to thrive in this game. And King Henry hit the smash button. This man is going to explode. The Cincinnati Bengals run D is absolutely terrible. Dead last on the season, but over the last 4 weeks, they ranked 27th, giving up 28.4, 305 yards, 1 touchdown, 128 through the air, 2 touchdowns. Count Derrick Henry in for a big, big day again. Not only do we get the amazing Thursday night slate, they said, here, guys, let's give you a Friday game too, and let's make it a good one. Let's give us the freaking 8-3 Bears who keep skinning by like just a hair every single game they've won. And I really don't know if I believe if they're for real yet or pretenders yet, but I guess we're going to find out with this tough stretch they're facing here for the rest of the season. 8-3 Bears, 8-3 Eagles, 44.5 over/under. Philly favored by 7 in this game. Now, DeAndre Swift, he did fumble the ball away last week, and then they kind of punished him, which is crazy. They gave the job to Menunjai, right? Which doesn't make sense to me how Ramondre Stevenson can fumble it twice and still get the job back, but Swift is gone. Just throwing that out there. But when it comes to this matchup here, Philly, this defense has just elevated like over the past 4 weeks. They've just gotten lights out. So they are 13th versus the run, giving up 20.5. They've given up 1 touchdown on the ground, 0 through the air, but they get up 173 receiving yards. So that's the number I'm looking at here for DeAndre Swift. That's why I like him as a flex play over Menunjai, because Menunjai, you know, he can catch the ball at the backfield, but he's not the DeAndre Swift kind of, you know, pass catching back. So I like Swift as a flex play. Menunjai, low end flex play with touchdown upside in the red zone because he does get the work down there if you need to throw him in there like desperation flex play. Saquon Barkley got absolutely bottled up last week on the ground, but did it through the air. And I've been trying to tell you guys, man, buy Saquon Barkley, buy, because his schedule is just going to get pure gold from here. You get the Chicago Bears. Their defense is beat up everywhere. They are ranking 18th, so a little lower than the middle of the pack, giving up 22.7. They've given up 100 yards a game on the ground with 409, 2 touchdowns, 170 through the air, so 570 total yards in 4 games. I think Saquon's big explosion game is here. I think he's finally going to crack one of those big runs from last year that we haven't seen yet this year, which is crazy. We're this far into the season, and it's going to be a monster Saquon Barkley week. My 8-4 49ers are headed into the dog pound to take on Shedeur Sanders and the 3-8 Cleveland Browns coming off their big win, man. Clap it up for Shedeur, man. I'm tired of the hate for that guy. I even said it all last week. I want him to win this game just to shut everyone up, and I'm glad he did. And I'm glad that he went to the press conference after and even talked more shit. Like, this guy's been beaten down. He's a 5th-round draft pick that was supposed to go in the top 5, and then he's a 3rd string. Let this guy talk shit, man. I'm okay with it. I'm sorry for the cuss words there. I just have had enough of the Shedeur bashing, and he comes out wins. I love it. So we're looking at 38.5 over-under. Very low implied point total game. Cleveland Brown defense is phenomenal. Niners favored by 5.5 in this game. Christian The guy I told you guys all year long to draft, the comeback player of the year, is absolutely backpacking, carrying the 49ers by himself, even when Brock Purdy threw 3 picks last night. CMC came through in the revenge game. And the interesting thing here is the Cleveland Browns defense beginning of the year was number 1. Over the past 4 weeks, guys, they rank 29th. They are giving up 29.2 points per game, 279 yards on the ground, 176 to the air, three total touchdowns, and you're never sitting CMC, let's be honest. Quinshon Judkins on his side, this matchup, again, is going to be a good one. I don't know what the Panthers were doing last night on Monday Night Football, avoiding the run, which was very, very strange to me. It was a time of possession game on the Niners side, dominating the clock, but still, Rico Dowdle's touches were bonkers. And the 49ers give up 22 points a game. We're ranking 15th versus the run. Obviously, we had a good game versus the Panthers to bump us up last week, from the Monday night game. So it bumped us up a lot. But we have tons of injuries. Bosa, Warner, Michael Williams, all studs, all gone. Quinshon Judkins, you saw the new look with Shadur Sanders, how they're going to wildcat him as well. He went out with a concussion, went to the tent, came back out, went back into the tent, came back out, said he's good to go for week 13. So I'm going with he's good to go. And I'm going with Quinshon Judkins is going to be a smash play this week against my 49ers week run D. The unpredictable Jacksonville Jaguars at 7-4 and looks like they're going to be a playoff team are fighting for the 1-10 Tennessee Titans. Looks like they're going to come out 8-4 in this game. 41.5 over under. Jacksonville is favored by 6.5. And when I say unpredictable Jacksonville Jaguars, well, let's talk about what I mean here. So what I mean is 2 weeks ago, Byshell Tootin came out with 15 carries at the beginning of the game. It wasn't like it was garbage time. It wasn't like they were closing out the game. And he out-touched him 15-5. Then, the week of practice, Travis Etienne takes 0 contact with the AC sprain in his shoulder. And then we get to week 12, and Etienne comes out and gets 20 touches. So, I was high on Tootin, man. I apologize to everyone. I was like, Tootin's going to be a flex play that can score, and the 20% snap share. So make that make sense. I don't know how you break that down any other way than the way I did. There's no way for us content creators to know what to say there in that game. So ETN, going to be a must start for me now again. And then watch this game be Tootin', and then I'll really lose my goddamn mind. But you're getting the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans versus the run over the past 4 weeks are actually number 1. They've given up 13.23, 241 yards, 1 touchdown, 46 yards through the air. They've been phenomenal, but this is going to be a different type game here, and the Titans have kind of had an easier schedule versus the run. Jacksonville Jaguars run game with Liam Combs, a total different script. I still like Travis Etienne as a start. And on to the Tony Pollard, Tyjae Spears side. This is a nightmare. The Jacksonville Jaguars defense ranks number 10, giving up 17.8, 3 total touchdowns, 212 on the ground, and 113 or 133 through the air. Cam Ward showed a little life last week against, the Seahawks, but it was garbage time, but at least it was good to see them moving him around out of the pocket and stuff. But I can't trust these running backs, man. I was saying, buy Tyjae Spears down the stretch, but they just want to keep throwing in Tony Pollard, and now we're getting updates of Khalil Mullings making involved. God, this is a nightmare. 6-5 Houston Texans. Davis Mill gets them 3 straight wins. We don't have the official update if CJ Stroud is going to be back yet or not. Are headed into the 8-3 Colts coming off that brutal loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. Over under 44.5. Indy is favored by 4.5 in this game. And Woody Marks, man, he is getting the volume. He is becoming the running back 1, although you still saw Nick Chubb get some goal line carries, which is annoying to us Woody Marks owners. When you're looking at the matchup, I just have this gut feeling that when CJ Stroud comes back, it's going to hurt the Texans, which is just, I hate saying that because in no way, shape, or form do I think Davis Mills is a better quarterback than CJ Stroud, but he's playing better right now. So the matchup, you're going to get the Colts. It's a great matchup. He had a great matchup last week too, though, and he kind of shit the bed with it. So he gave up 28.5 points for the Colts. They ranked 28th, 292 yards on the ground, 112 through the air, 5 rushing touchdowns. Kareem Hunt just pounded them for 30 touches as well and 20 fantasy points. So that's going to drop them down also as well. And he's a flex play. I want to say he's a start, but he's a flex play. I dropped him down because of last week. I mean, he had another advantageous matchup and kind of didn't do anything with it. So when we're looking at Jonathan Taylor, talk about your bounce back game. And we know that the Houston Texans defense is phenomenal, but they are phenomenal versus the pass and getting after the quarterback. They do struggle versus the running back. They rank 20th, giving up 24 points a game. They've given up 279 on the ground, 2 touchdowns on the ground as well, 178 through the air, and a touchdown through the air. And you know that we're like I said, watch out for JT and the Chiefs. You know, off a bad game, he's going to come back and explode. And there's no way you're ever sitting Jonathan Taylor. Let's be real. Surprisingly enough, this is an all systems green game for me that I really, really like this week for the running back situation. The 2-9 New Orleans Saints just lost Alvin Kamara. They are going to be heading into the Miami Dolphins, who are 4-7, and they're still fighting for their playoff life. And I love Devon Achane and Devin Neal in this game. A ton, because I think it's going to be an ugly game where the running backs dominate this game, right? So when you look at the matchup here for Devin Neal going up to the Miami Dolphins, they rank 11th versus the running back, giving up 18 points a game, 305 yards. Got to remember, they also had their bye as well. So think about that in the process. And then 97 yards to the air and no rushing touchdowns. They traded away Jaden Phillips, but they haven't really played a game like that yet. And what we saw from Devin Neal when Kamara went down was we saw 74% snap share, which is elite RB1 usage. Noah McCanns is a great pass-catching running back. You saw the receptions happen as well. Tyler Shuck liked him. I love Devin Neal as a start this week. Devon Achane, this is going to be his possible RB1 week this week, and it doesn't even matter if the New Orleans Saints were number one versus the running back. I just think how this matchup is going to go. He is going to absolutely annihilate the Saints. They rank 13th versus the run, giving up 20.5, 353 on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 53 through the air, no touchdowns through the air. But you're going to get Darren Waller back. You still got Jalen Waddle. You know, maybe that frees up the box a little bit, getting Waller back for Achane. But wheels up. Both these running backs I absolutely love this week for possibly 20+ for both. The 4-7 Dirty Birds are headed into the 2-9 New York Jets, who just decided to win games when they're trying to get their draft capital, but yeah, they're the Jets, so that's what happens. 39.5 over under, very low implied point total game. Atlanta favored by 2.5. Atlanta's not out of it yet either, which is crazy. I don't think they're going to make it with Kirk Cousins at the helm, but they still have life, so they're still fighting for the spot here. Now, Bijan Robinson. I put the Saints up. My bad. Bijan Robinson, back to Bijan things. You're always starting him. You're never sitting him regardless. Tyler Algier does have low-end flex play appeal. The New York Jets run D over the past 4 weeks ranks 19th, getting up 23.4 points per game. 4 touchdowns, so that's 1 a game. 214 on the ground, 77 through the air, and 1 touchdown through the air. And, you know, he gets touches. It drives me nuts as a Bijan owner myself, but that's just what we have to live with. But I'm always starting Bijan, and if you need to low-end flex play Tyler Algier, I'm not mad at it because he has touchdown upside every single game. On to the Breece Hall side, coming off a good game last week, and the Atlanta Falcons defense is reeling over the past 4 weeks. Really, really bad. Versus the quarterback, running back, and wide receiver, they've been struggling across the board. They give up 27.4 to the running back. That ranks 26th. That's 6th worst in the NFL. 435 yards on the ground. That's 100+ on the ground. 200 yards through the air. That's 635 yards in 4 games. That's 150 total yards a game. Give me Breece Hall this week as a high-end flex play. And Braylon Allen, someone you should start thinking about stashing right now because he might come off IR soon. The 3-8 Arizona Cardinals headed into the 6-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're hoping Baker Mayfield can fight through the arm injury that he has. So they said, low-grade sprain. That guy's a warrior. I think he's going to be out there, man. 45.5 over-under. Tampa is favored by 3 in this game. So this is going to be a hard one to judge early here because they've given the update that if Trey Benson returns, he will be the full guy, right? But we have had that update for 2 weeks now, saying that Trey Benson day to day, week to week, he's going to be out there. He's going to be out there. We don't know yet, but I'm assuming he's back this week. So I'm going to put him as a flex play against a very good matchup against the Tampa Bay defense that's been struggling versus the running back, ranking 22nd, giving up 24 points a game, 280 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 132 through the air, 2 touchdowns. That's a touchdown a game over 4 games. That's about 400 yards. That's 100 yards a game. If you're the full down running back for the Arizona Cardinals with Jacoby Brissett moving this offense, if you have Trey Benson, you're flexing him. It's going to be a great play for him this week. On to the Bucs side. Now, Bucky Irving, talk about just a guy that killed me all year long. I guess he didn't take the injury well, like mentally, kind of messed up his mental state. He'd never been hurt like that before in his career, so it really, took a toll on him. But he's going to be back this week, practice in full. The update is that he's playing. Do we know that he's going to be on a snap count? We don't know yet. I'm assuming he will be. I mean, Sean Tucker and Rachaad White have carried the load pretty well. And if you got Teddy Bridgewater out there, I'm going to be more worried about Bucky. So I have him as a flex play. Obviously, if you held Bucky this long, you're starting him either way. Let's be honest about that. But I am kind of worried in this first game back. We don't know what we're going to get. We don't know what quarterback's there. It's early in the week dropping the video, so I don't know if Baker's the guy yet either. So you're still flexing with Teddy Bridgewater either way. but I would temper my expectations. The Arizona Cardinals run D actually over the past 4 weeks here, they are giving up 26 points, ranking 24th, 477 yards. The matchup is beautiful. They've given up 4 touchdowns as well. That's a touchdown a game. They've also given up 99 yards to the air. That's almost 600 yards to the running back and 6 touchdowns. Like Bucky comes back, he's smashing. And if he gets full work, he's smashing. But again, we don't know. So that's why I'm putting him in the middle flex. But obviously you're starting him if you have him. I'm starting him everywhere I have him as well. My Super Bowl pick champion 9-2 LA Rams. And yes, I'm a Niner fan. That shows you how content creator outside the box mind goes, because I know as a diehard 49er, it sucks saying that, but sometimes you just got to look at what the situation is. And this Rams team is absolutely phenomenally nasty. Now, Kyren Williams, what a weird showing last week was for him. I mean, they just blew out the Bucs like 31-7 at half, and Kyren was still in the game. Like they put him in the fourth quarter up 24 points just to salvage like a 5-point fantasy day for him, I think, which was really weird. But in this game against the Carolina Panthers, 6-6, the over-under is 45.5. LA Rams again favored by 11. I'm still starting Kyren, but again, we might be in that scary territory. But look at the matchup. The Panthers ranked 30th versus the running back in the past 4 weeks. Give 30 points a game, 451 on the ground. That's 115 plus a game, 5 touchdowns. That's 1.25 a game just on the ground, 181 through the air. We're talking about like 630 freaking yards over 4 games. Kyren should feast. But again, they are using Corum a little more. I'm not willing to put Corum into a low-end flex play yet. He does see some goal line carries, hasn't punched one in. But I just hope it's not another one of those games because Stafford and Devontae Adams and Puka look so damn good that it could be another blowout game where Kyren doesn't have a good game, and I'm still starting him. Rico Dowdle, 6 carries versus 49ers. I can't make it make sense. Run for the hills. This Rams defense is absolutely nasty as it gets. They are literally good everywhere, every single thing. Versus the running back, they're top 12. Quarterback, like number 1, tight end, number 2. They're good all around. They're going to get after Bryce Young, and I fear for Bryce Young in this game. And why I don't like Rico Dowdle. Hang on. See, I even messed it up. I don't like Rico Dowdle as a start this week. I am sitting Rico Dowdle versus the Rams because I fear you're going to face a game script, like I just said, why I'm afraid of Kyren Williams, where the Rams blow him out. And we saw who the pass catching back was last week versus the 49ers, and they were behind. That was Chuba Hubbard. That's who's probably going to see more work in this game as well because, Bryce Young's probably going to get sacked like 6-7 times and throw 2 picks in this game. This defense is too damn good, and I'm not starting Rico Dowdle this week. The 4-7 falling apart Minnesota Vikings with J.J. McCarthy. Looks like we're going to have Max Brosmer possibly playing quarterback. Are headed into the Seattle Seahawks this week. 8-3, over-under is 41.5. Seattle favored by 10.5. I bet that gets bumped to 12.5 when we figure out that Max Brosmer is going to be playing quarterback here. When it comes to Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason got the yardage last week. Seattle, though, on the road here with a rookie quarterback, I don't even really know if I really like to start Aaron Jones, but I'm going to put him as a flex play. Seattle's been number 8 versus the running back. 17.1 points per game, 327 on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 90 through the air, no touchdowns through the air. So you're looking at a 50% chance to score, just using the 4-game statistic. And you got a quarterback that's never played football in the NFL that's going to pop in at the 12th man that is going to be absolutely rocking. They're fighting for a top NFC spot. I fear for the Vikings quarterback. I fear for the running backs. If you want to flex play Aaron Jones, I think he's the better option this week, because I think he's going to get more passing work, check down equity from a rookie, a first start quarterback. So, man, it's just Justin Jefferson. I feel so bad for the Vikings right now. And the Seattle side, Kenneth Walker, I'm starting. And Charbonnet, I'm flexing again, even if they were number 1, right? So let's say the Vikings, which their defense ranks 17th, giving up 22.4. Let's say they were number 1 versus the run. How much are they going to move the ball here with Max at quarterback? How is it going to go against this defense at Seattle? The opportunities are going to be there in bunches on the Seattle side. They're going to control the possession. They're going to control the clock. They're going to run the rock. They're going to use both the running backs. And Charbonnet, again, gets a goal line touchdown last week. That's what he always does. So if you want to low-end flex play Charbonnet, I'm fine with it. I love Kenneth Walker as a start because I think the volume is going to be great in this game. And I think Seattle is going to absolutely destroy the Vikings this week. Like, it's not even going to be a fun game to watch. The 7-4 Bills and James Cook are headed into the 6-5 Pittsburgh Steelers. And we're hoping we get Aaron Rodgers back in this game, right? Because that would obviously make the Steelers offense a little better. I mean, Mason Rudolph was a serviceable backup, but he didn't really lose that game last week either. Kept him in that game too. Over-unders 47.5. Buffalo is favored by 3.5 on the road here. James Cook going up against the Steel Curtain defense, which has gotten a lot better versus the running back down the stretch here. They ranked number 5. They were very bad, and they were sporadic, like one good game, one bad game. Now they're stringing together this run D, and they ranked number 5, giving up 15.3, 313 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 77 yards to the air, no touchdown there. So 2 touchdowns in 4 games. James Cook, doesn't matter. I'm not sitting this guy. Even if it was the number 1 defense, I'm still starting James Cook. He has earned that status, and that's just how I look at James Cook. Now, Pittsburgh Steelers side, this is getting interesting here. Jaylen Warren is becoming like a 50% snap share with Kenneth Gainwell, who's looking great. And the matchup is beautiful. The Buffalo Bills injuries are piling up beyond belief. At Big DT Ed Oliver's out for the season. They can't stop the run at all. Guys, they've given up 502 yards in the past 4 games. That is bonkers. 27.2 fantasy points, ranking 25th. 5 touchdowns over that span, just rushing. 96 through the air, so 600 yards in 4 games, 150 yards a game. 6 total touchdowns over that span, 1.5 touchdowns a game. Kenneth Gainwell is into flex territory with 50% snap share. He gets the receptions. He looks great in open space. Jaylen Warren's obviously going to get the goal line work when they get down there. Sometimes even Gainwell getting carries. Both these guys, I like Gainwell as a flex and Jaylen Warren as a start against a banged-up Bills defense. The 2-9 Raiders that are falling apart that keep wanting to start Geno Smith are heading into the 7-4 Chargers, coming off a bye, 47.5 over-under. Chargers almost favored by 10.5. I think it's going to move up from 9.5, which is at now, just because, I mean, this Raider team is just rough. But here's the thing. So we got the update of Amari and Hampton. 21-day practice window is open. Should be back week 13. All of us fantasy owners are blessed there. Ashton Jeanty also went down with an ankle injury late in the game. So something to pay attention to there. Obviously, if Jeanty is out, I don't even think about flexing Raheem Mostert. I'll keep him as a sit either way. I think they'd rotate in Zamir White or something like that if Jeanty were to miss. But again, they said it's not severe. We don't have the official update. I mean, they're 2-9. Could he miss the game? Yeah. If Jeanty misses, I don't think I'm starting Mostert either way. And you're going up against the Charger Rundy, and they rank 16th, give up 22.3. But remember, they're coming off a bye as well. They got healthy over a week. 338, they get up on the ground, 3 rushing touchdowns, 73 through the air. And Jeanty's a 90% snap share back, full elite RB1 usage. But again, he got banged up in that game. We don't know how it's going to look. If he's out there, I'm starting him still. If he's not out there, I'm not starting Mostert. Amari and Hampton side, if you waited this long, you're starting him. The Las Vegas Raiders run defense is currently giving up 24 points a game, ranking 20th, about 100 yards a game on the ground at 400, 3 rushing touchdowns, 153 through the air. That's 550 yards. Could they work back in Hampton slowly? Sure. They get down to the goal line. He's going to punch one in. I'm starting Amari and Hampton. If I waited this long, give me him back. Thank God. Let's go. The 9-2 Denver Broncos headed into the 3-8 Washington Commanders. It looks like we're going to have Marcus Mariota, but pay attention because JD5 has said he is trying to fight through to play. If he's healthy, I want to be out there. That's the update. Which at 3-8 is very, very sketch to me, but I get it. I mean, I like the heart. You got to like that. 43.5 over under. Denver favored by 6.5 on the road. I like Denver to smash that total, by the way, if you're a betting man. And we're looking at this game here. This is going to be a game where I really, really love RJ Harvey. Now, you could put Jaleel McLaughlin up there, who stole a touchdown before the bye. I get that was gross, by the way. I can't believe I called that first time, anytime touchdown for him. That was a fluke. And usually when you come off a bye, what usually happens, right? You get your rookie more involved. That's just NFL history for the past 10 years, right? That's they play till the bye, they see what they got, then they see a little more, and this matchup is freaking gorgeous. The Commanders defense is beat up across the board. 32 points a game they allow. That ranks 31st. That's second last in the NFL. 462 rush yards alone. 115 yards a game right there. 3 rushing touchdowns, 115 through the air, almost 600 total yards and 1 touchdown through the air. So you're getting a touchdown a game, and you're getting about 150 yards. RJ Harvey's the explosive running back. This, to me, is screaming RJ Harvey smash week. Now, on to the Commander side. I said this during my waiver wire video as well. Don't blow a lot on Chris Rodriguez. I know he got the 15 touches, but it's rough. You're going up against the Denver Rundy. The Denver Rundy is absolutely phenomenal. They're number 2, allowing 13.7, 184 yards in 4 games, 2 touchdowns, 27 yards to the air. That's 200 total yards in 4 games. That's 50 yards for the running back. No. And you got Marcus Mariota out there. You're going to fall behind. Rodriguez, not a great pass catching back. Don't like this situation for him at all. And honestly, they have a very tough schedule coming ahead. So if you're watching this video and you got the waiver wire going, don't drop a ton on him. Last but not least, we get the New York Giants at 2-10, headed in to the 10-2 opposite record New England Patriots, who are now the favorite in the Vegas odds to win the AFC #1 bye spot. Who would have said that coming into this season? That's wild. Now, when I look at Tyrone Tracy, right, he did look good last week. I believe he had 20-something touches, good outing in a somewhat tough matchup versus Detroit, but it kind of was a shootout game. So you get a little different games from him. But he played 71% of the snaps, which is elite. So he had 20 carries for 62 yards. He had 68 yards to the air as well, which is good to see there because he's a wide receiver at Iowa before he transferred to running back. Scatterbo down, Singletary kind of phased out, which is what you want to see. He's had 17 points over the past 2 games, which is great, and he's looked great. But you're getting the New England Patriots run D here. So they're number 4. They allow 14.9 points per game, 0 touchdowns in the past 4 weeks. He's getting a lot of volume. He's proven against the Green Bay Packers great run D and the Detroit Lions great run D that he's still serviceable. So I need to be better here. We're not going to go low end flex. We're going to go flex play. He's earned the flex play here. He's not a low end flex. And Travion Henderson side. Now everyone panicked because Travion didn't get in last week and he had a monster matchup. If you look at it, Travion Henderson still dominated the RB1 work with almost 20 touches. Again, Ramondre Stevenson has kind of been phased out of this. You're going to get the New York Giants run D on Monday night. He is going to win you your matchups this week on Monday. On Monday night, hear me out. The New York Giants are dead last in the NFL versus the running back. But listen to how bad it is, right? And Emmanuel Wilson just shattered him, okay? So think about this for a second. Sorry, not Emmanuel Wilson. He shattered the Vikings. Sorry, that was wrong. Jahmyr Gibbs just exploded, right, for 60 points, okay? So now they are giving up 38 points a game to the running back position, and that's last. 31st is the Washington Commanders. That's why I like R.J. Harvey. 31 to 38, that's a 7-point average per game. That is how bad the New York Giants are versus the running back. 600 yards on the ground, 6 touchdowns over 4 games. That's 150 yards a game just on the ground, and 1.5 touchdowns just on the ground. 170 yards through the air. Dude, they're almost giving up 800 yards in 4 games. 2 touchdowns through the air. So that's 8 touchdowns through 4 games. That's 2 touchdowns a game to the running back. 800 yards, 200 yards a game to the running back. That's how bad it's been. Travion Henderson is going to win you your week on Monday night, and you're going to laugh at it. Smash, smash, smash. Thanks for rocking with me. That is the end of the start sit running backs that you guys should have for week 13. Remember, guys, if you have any questions, always drop them down below. I try to answer all of them regardless of what it is. If you haven't already on your way out, hit that thumbs up, tap that subscription button, turn that bell on so you know when I'm live. Thursday, we'll even be live on Thanksgiving Day just before the kickoffs, and then we got all the family coming in. So I don't know about my Friday, Saturday schedule, but Sunday I will be live again for the start sit show. So, again, I'll keep you guys posted as we go through the videos here. If you guys, again, haven't checked out drafters.com or the Guys FF Discord, make sure you do. Both those links are in the description of the video. And that's it for me in this episode, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I'm going to try to get my wide receivers and tight ends out today. Got a couple errands to run, so hopefully I get it all done. They are set up, so at least that's a good point there. So that's it for me in this episode. I'll catch you in the next one. Sleaze Bomb out.